Good evening. Tonight, digging 30 years into the past to help solve a high-profile case in Jacksonville. Allegations of a history of violence involving Russell Tillis. Now, he's the man accused of murder in the so-called House of Horrors case, and today he appeared in court.
And tonight, we're gaining insight into how both the prosecution and defense may try the case. Our Juliet Dreyer is live at the courthouse with the details. Juliet.
Anthony, in court this morning, defense attorneys asked the state to provide the most specific timeline possible for the murder of Joni Lynn Gunter. Meanwhile, prosecutors are strategizing how to prove that Russell Tillis is guilty of that crime, and court documents reveal that includes digging nearly 30 years into Tillis's past. With shackles around his wrists and ankles, Russell Tillis faces a judge. His attorneys Monday morning filed a motion for a bill of particulars, wanting the most specific timeline possible for the murder of 31-year-old Joni Lynn Gunter.
You need to know, as a defense attorney, when these incidents occurred so that I can, was my client there? Was he incarcerated? Was he somewhere where he has witnesses?
Jacksonville criminal defense attorney Janet Johnson is not affiliated with the Tillis case, but gives insight into the recent court developments. She adds that since it will likely be difficult to pin down exactly when Gunter was murdered, the defense could use that in Tillis's trial.
To say, look, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, they can't even tell you when it happened. How can they tell you who did it?
Gunter's dismembered body was found buried on Tillis's property in 2016. Tillis faces 6 charges in her death, including murder and kidnapping. First Coast News obtained court documents that show the prosecution plans to argue this isn't the first time Tillis was violent with women.
Normally, a jury can only hear about the incident that the defendant's charged with. If there are other acts that are so similar that it actually tends to prove that this is the person who did both of those things, then actually the judge may let it into evidence.
The document cites a kidnapping conviction out of Hillsborough County in 1989, a child abuse conviction from Duval County in 2008, and multiple allegations of violence against women, including rape. One woman told detectives she lived with Tillis for 2 months in 2015. She said Tillis tied her up, slapped her, and sexually assaulted her, taking advantage because she was addicted to meth.
So the jury can decide whether this behavior that he did in the past tends to prove the behavior he's accused of now.
Johnson says the defense can argue against the past convictions and allegations being admitted, but ultimately it's up to the judge to decide which, if any, will make it to trial. Russell Tillis is set to be in court again on May 8th. His trial is tentatively scheduled to begin in early November. Live at the Duval County Courthouse, Juliet Dreyer, First Coast News on your side.
Juliet, thank you.